Hey guys, what's up? It's Crow here. I'm coming at you with another short little tutorial. Well, I don't know if it'll be a short tutorial. We'll see. I get carried away sometimes on these. But today I want to talk about a question that I get asked a lot, and something that's useful no matter what game mode you're in, no matter what your skill level is. That is kickoffs. Kickoffs are very important. Kickoffs happen, at least one time a match right at the beginning, and odds are a lot more than one time in a match. If you score a goal, you're gonna have to do a kickoff right after that. So if you're on kickoff and you feel like whenever you're on kickoff you lose the kickoff, or you constantly get beat to the ball, or maybe you're playing 1v1s and your opponent just scores on you all the time because your kickoff is bad, then this might be the video for you. I'm going to try to explain first how I do my kickoff, and then go into more depth about how a proper kickoff, like why a proper kickoff wins, why hitting the ball at a certain time, hitting the ball a certain way, flipping a certain way, managing your boost a certain way, a couple little variations of kickoffs that you see, but the same principle will still always apply. So I'll just start off by showing you my kickoffs. I saved a little replay here. There are 5 kickoff positions. There's the 2 corners, the 2 off-center ones, and then the dead center one. So I'll just go into this replay. I just did 5 goals, and show you my kickoff. So this is a corner kickoff, and I'll go in at full speed, and then I'll slow it down a little bit. But usually, I just do that. And normally, I wouldn't be aiming directly for the net. Usually in a 1v1, you have an opponent who's going to oppose you in the corner. So my angle is a little bit aimed towards the net. So that's all. But I'll slow it down just a little bit. So the first thing I do is, actually I need to go back even farther. So you can see that I'm not actually aimed at the ball on the kickoff, but I want to flip towards the ball in the best line possible and still get the boost. So I get the boost and I start turning. And let's say if I did a regular front flip, or if I just let go of my control stick, I would go flying past this ball. I'm not in line with the ball. I do a corner flip diagonally left to basically get back on track. And after my flip, I'm in the perfect landing zone, which is right here. This gap between your car and the ball is, I would say, an appropriate gap that gives you enough time to flip at the ball when you land. If you land too close, you're not going to get the flip at the ball. And if your opponent flips at the ball, they'll probably win a 50-50 on you. And if you land too far away, then there's a lot of run-up time and it's just a slow kickoff. So once again, use all my boost to get this boost pad, jump, and then flip in a straight line of the ball as best I can, using my boost to correct for how much I'm flipping to the left. This boost is keeping me in a straight line, basically. Making sure not to boost when my exhaust isn't facing the right way. Landing and then flipping. So that's what my right side looks like. My left side kickoff kind of changes a little bit. It looks a little different sometimes just because I'm not the most comfortable on the left side, I would say. I think my right side I'm a little more comfortable, but it changes day to day. But this is basically the same thing. Just make sure to turn, jump, do a corner flip. And here I landed a little bit too close. So I didn't boost 100% during my flip. I saved a little bit so that I can make up for it. And here, if I was opposing an opponent, I'm a little bit off to the left, but this is more of a, if you're actually playing against a real opponent, this would be how I might kick off. I just want to get to the ball, and they're going to be coming from the exact opposite angle I am, and I'm flipping to the right because I'm a little bit off to the left when I land. So if somebody does 50-50 this ball with me, they're also going to have to get through my flip too. And that means the ball's probably going to get pushed to the right wall, and it's either a win or like a straight 50-50 because I think I was pretty fast. If I was a little bit slower and they beat me to the ball, I would have forced the ball into the right wall, but it would have gone on my side. So show it one more time, and then we'll go to the center kickoffs. And the center kickoffs seem like, oh, there's only so fast you can do it, You can only do it so fast because it's a straight line. You should just front flip. Well, I don't think you should front flip on these because then you don't get to utilize all your boost. You want to hit top speed as fast as you can. And if you front flip and you start boosting, your front flip is going to clip into the ground. Your car is going to clip into the ground. Weird stuff's going to happen, and it's going to slow you down. So instead, I do another diagonal flip. That way I can boost during my flip and hit supersonic as fast as possible. Now, if you do a slightly diagonal flip, you're going to be off center with the ball. So watch what I do to make up for this. I start by driving a little bit to the side. And this means that when I diagonally flip, just a little bit, not a crazy amount, but enough to where I can boost and still not mess my flip up. But you want to go off center just a little bit so that your flip lands you back in line. And you can see that by the time I'm back with the ball, I'm dead center with it. And you want to make sure you're able to get all these boost pads. When I flip, I'm still collecting this boost pad. Right there, I'm touching it. And this means that I have, 12 extra boost, so that when I pick up this boost pad, I use up all of my boost before I get to the ball. If I want to. I don't have to, because I'm already doing supersonic. But having maybe, like right now I have 16 boost. Having that 16 extra boost after kickoff could be the difference between, having an opportunity to score and not having an opportunity to score. So, you want to get all the boost pads, and you want to make sure that you're going as fast as you can, really. But that's how I do my dead-on kickoff. The off-center kickoffs are basically the same concept. I want that boost pad, and I also want to flip. So I turn diagonally to get the boost pad, and then diagonally flip to land dead center. It just looks a little bit different. So I'm aiming for just the edge of the boost. I just want to kind of jump over the edge of the boost. Jump as I'm getting to it. That way I collect it, but I still land in the center. So I'll show it again. And this means that I can hold my boost down during the majority of my flip, and it won't cause me to slow down. And I'll show you more in free training what I mean. But it looks exactly the same on the other side, it's just mirrored. But that's how I do my kickoffs. Let me just quickly explain why I'm not doing regular front flips on those. And it just means like you can't boost. So if I were to boost during a front flip, do you see how there's this time period where my exhaust is actually facing the wrong way and I'm boosting backwards? What also happens if you boost during a front flip is your wheels don't hit the ground in time. You get a lot of extra height that you really don't want. So instead, if you just flip it a little bit diagonally, you can boost during almost all of your flip. So, as well as needing to side flip on these off-center kickoffs, you absolutely need to, so that you can pick up the boost. But I hope that explains it. You might end up going a little bit off-center on some of your kickoffs. You might miss the ball completely if you've just been, let's say you don't even flip at the ball. Let's say, you spawn off kickoff and you just like kind of drive at it and you just boost. That's going to be a little bit slower. The more you incorporate flips into your kickoff, the more likely you might be to completely miss the kickoff. But practice always makes perfect. Maybe play some unranked games, try it out in ranked. But it is a mechanic. It's a fundamental skill, and mastering it is important to moving up in the ranks. The other thing I kind of mentioned in my other kickoff was where I landed. My spacing with the ball when I land. So after my initial flip off of the kickoff, you're probably going to land, well, you want to land right here. Sometimes you might land a little too far away, and other times maybe you'll accidentally hit the ball before you even get to flip. Like you'll come in way too hot and you'll just fly into the ball like this. That might happen, and sometimes it might work. It's a lot less calculated than landing right here with the ball. Landing it kind of just before, if you're looking at Manfield Night, some maps don't have this indicator, but this little painted circle around the ball, you want to land just before it ends. This is a good distance because this means that with enough speed, when you jump and flip, the front of your car is dead center with the ball. Your entire car is behind the ball, which means your car is directly between the ball and your goal. So off of a kickoff, if you're completely behind the ball and your opponent hits it into you, no matter how fast they're going or how hard they hit that ball, if you're directly behind it, the ball is just going to keep hitting your car and there's no way it goes in the net. Now, sometimes kickoff goals happen off of the walls. I'm sure it's happened to you where you go for a side kickoff and you go for it and you 50-50 it and it pinches kind of off to your right. In this case, it bounces off the wall and directly in your net. That can happen if you're just slightly off center or maybe you were just a little too slow. And so what happens is your opponent is hitting it into you and then off of you. And because they moved where the ball was, even though you may have landed in the perfect spot, because you didn't get there in time, the perfect spot has then moved because your opponent touched the ball. And then you're off center and it goes into the wall and it might go in the net. So combining speed and focusing on hitting the center of the ball when your opponent does is very crucial. If you notice you're outpacing your opponents, then the best thing to do is to kind of not flip immediately into the ball, but jump and then touch the ball with your car and then flip. It's a very, very, very quick timing. Kind of looks like this. Notice how I'm not hitting it with the flip. Not quite, because this is hitting it with the flip. But I'm touching it and then flipping. And what this means is you'll touch the ball into your opponent. It will hit them either right as they're flipping or just before because you got there first. And then when the ball comes back to you, when it rebounds off their car, you are doing a flip. And that means that you're going to get a lot more momentum on the second part of your touch. And you might be able to force it right through them. So just a few things about kickoffs that are, I think, a lot of people don't realize. And a lot of this you can analyze by looking at a replay. You can just go into a random replay and watch a kickoff between two people. Watch your kickoff against people and see what happens. Slow the ball down. Just kind of analyze that at like 5 or 10% and just watch how the ball goes back and forth a bunch of times. There are variations to a lot of kickoffs. Like if somebody has a good kickoff, but if you're losing to somebody with a kickoff and you notice that they're a little bit slow, people do a fast kickoff sometimes, which kind of looks like this. And instead of trying to even get a 50-50 at all, they'll just go for the outside of the ball. And if they think they're fast enough, they can hit it around their opponent. I'll kind of do it in a, I'm gonna try an exhibition match because free training doesn't really give you it doesn't spawn you in the right place sometimes. And free training also gives you unlimited boost. And if you practice your kickoffs with unlimited boost, I do not think it will help you. So let me make a local exhibition match. I'll do unlimited goals. Okay. But this is a great way to practice your kickoffs, is to go into an unlimited goal, unlimited time exhibition match and just do a regular kickoff, score the goal, try again. So here, just do a kickoff. Try to do it as fast as you can. I'm aiming for the net just because I want to get to a corner kickoff. Here we go. So this is how I do my fast kickoff if I feel like I can get around somebody. Of course, you don't want to miss the ball. And that's why you don't see me do fast kickoffs in RLCS. But that's how I would have tried it. I'm just trying to get it with the very slight corner of my car. I should get another corner kickoff in a second. Oh no. All right, let's try this again. So this would be a fast kickoff. This time I'm gonna hit the ball. Nope, I didn't even do it right. Usually I like to do a little bit of a front flip. I don't know. The pressure. Usually I like to do a little bit of a front flip and then kind of aim off to the right. I'll give it one more go, and if I don't get it, then I hope you guys understand my idea at least. All right, let's see if we get another corner. Yep, there we go. Okay, let me try it one last time. There we go, like that. And see now, if I get the fast kickoff, I can go up the wall because I'll get the boost, do something fancy. Wow. But the whole idea of a quote fast kickoff is just to get it past your opponent entirely. And even on a kickoff, you don't even have to, you know, I think this is about it. you don't even have to go for like the same kind of turn I do. You could turn inward and then flip out, or you could turn outward and flip back to the inside. There's a lot of flexibility with a kickoff, and really the way you flip is a lot of the ways are up to you. There of course are a couple principles you want to keep in mind, stuff like making sure you are landing in the sweet spot, that way you can flip into the ball. Your flip timing is going to be important because you need to time it against your opponents. Making sure that you're making the most straight path to the ball, going in a direct line to the ball with as much speed as possible, making sure you're using as much of your boost as you can to get to supersonic. And then once you're at max speed, you really don't need to boost that much. But if you hit supersonic before your kickoff, then you know you're doing something right. That's a pretty fast kickoff. So just a few things to keep in mind, and hopefully just seeing what my kickoffs look like and explaining a couple things helps you guys out in your games, especially you 1v1ers out there. I know kickoffs can be incredibly frustrating, but hopefully this helps a little bit. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.